Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I am going to be doing something that I have never tried before, and that is swirl curls. That sounds a bit strange, doesn't it? If you've seen the video where I made the curls in the loaves here, I pour a little bit in the bottom, and then I take it out and I cut it in half, and then I curl it. What I'm going to be doing today is using the clear to make the curls. But I'm going to be using 3 colors. I have no idea what colors I'm going to be using at the moment. I don't even know what fragrance I'm going to be using. This is just the basics. So I'm going to be using the clear 3 colors and then make a little swirl because the curls are not too much. I'm going to do possibly another loaf. There might be 3 loaves and then maybe a heart in the center. This is very unorganized for today's video. But once the curls are done, then I'm going to add the fragrance to the goat's milk. I'm going to add some more titanium dioxide because this is like a cream color, which is the goat's milk, and I want it to be pure white. And then pour it in over the top of the curls. And we'll see how we go. I'll be back in a minute with colors and fragrances. I'm going to be using strawberry as my fragrance, and I'm going to be using 20 grams, which is about 2%. I'm going to be using my favorite neon mica. I'm also going to be using magenta liquid dye and red liquid dye. Now, if I mix 1 drop of these together, the 2 liquids, then I can put a tiny amount into the clear, and therefore it will give that pastel pink where I'll have the brighter pink with the mica. And also some white to go in it to swirl it around. So let's get started. Okay, so I have my clear base here, roughly 266 grams. I'm going to be using 4 of these now, not 2. Based on a video that I previously did, I went back and watched my own video and I used 60 grams in each of these. So 60 and 60 is 120 and I need 4 of them, so that's 240, and I've given myself a little bit of leeway, so an extra 15 odd grams. So I'm going to melt this down and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, so there is 266 grams of clear. I'm about to microwave it and I'll be back in a minute to split it up into 2 other containers. Okay, so my base is melted down and I'm just going to take a quick temperature. So that's 150, which is 65. So it's pretty hot at the moment. But here's the thing, the smaller the amount of soap, the quicker it's going to cool down. So this will not take as long as what a kilogram would take. I don't have a lot of time to work with, so I'm going to split these up and add the colors. And if they do somewhat go solid, then I'll just quickly throw them in the microwave for 10 seconds. And these don't have a fragrance, these curls. So I'm going to split this up into 85 grams for each container. So here we go. So I'm going to add 1 drop of magenta. And this is 1 drop of red. Put some rubbing alcohol in there. This is a way that I found out the best way, because if you look at this, you think that's actually the color, right? But when you add it to a clear base or another base, like goat's milk or something, it will change. So I just put it on a bit of tissue and that's the color that I'll get, hopefully. These skins are starting to create already. So I'm only going to drop the smallest amount in one of them because the ratio between the amount of soap that I'm using and the liquid is quite small. So that's a nice little pink. So this one gets all of it. And that should create that richer color. And this is the white. Okay, so these are formed skins. That's not even moving in there now. So I'm going to have to melt these back down. That's a little bit more liquid, but and the white has just gone hard already. So even with it at 140 degrees, they're now cold. I'm going to go microwave these and I'll be back in a second. All right, I'm ready to pour. They're all right, but they're not covering the bottom. As you can see, there's still bits of silicone there. So I'm going to pour some more in over the top of that. Okay, so sometimes we have to improvise. So this is the heart mold that I have. I'll put a link in the description where you can get it from. I basically just put it in a 2-litre bottle of Coke just to hold it upright. And I've got some Viva paper towels in there just stuck in the top just to hold it steady. Normally I have a mold that I use rubber bands, but I can't find it, so I've improvised. So this is 140 grams. I've melted down in clear base and I've mixed it with the rest of the bright red and bright magenta. So hopefully this color will be the same as the color in the curls. So I'm just going to pour this into the top. So you don't need to worry about popping the bubbles at the top because I usually cut that piece off anyway because this is too long for the molds. So once this sets and these set, I'll take them all out and we'll start making the soap. Okay, so it's been around about 20 minutes. I've left this a little bit longer than what I would normally. It's completely set up. So I'm just going to try one. Hope I can get this out of here because it's all swirled. I don't want it to break apart. Okay, I've got to clean that up a bit, but generally that's what it looks like. Okay, so these are the Swirl curls. I've never heard of it before, but I'm sure it's out there somewhere. So just going to clean this up a little bit. So now these are cleaned up. I'm going to cut them down the center and then I'm going to roll them. Well, that rolled perfectly. That one's a little bit more fragile. When you're doing this, you'll be able to feel the flexibility of the soap. And just go gentle with it to start. You don't need to, see that's, I just got to push that down because it wasn't curling. Look, it broke. No! Okay, no, that's all right. I'll fix that in a minute. Okay, so I wasn't very gentle with that one. Yeah, swirl curls are hard. That's for sure. Okay, there's that one. Might be better off if I made them thicker. I don't know, I might try that next time. Maybe a thicker curl would be better. Yeah, that one's cracked as well. Also, because they're quite quite cold now that they're not as pliable as they are when they're warm. So I definitely left it way too long to remove it from the mold. Okay, one more. And for all those of you out there that are thinking, you know, I failed, I'm not going to try it again, all that kind of stuff, you know, we always fail. Sometimes failing is a good thing because then we know how to do it better next time. So just keep that in mind. You know, no one's a professional at anything until they've done it like lots of times. So keep going at it and you'll get there. I'm not sure what to do about this one though. I might just put it in the soap as this. No one will know. Don't tell anyone, okay? Okay, so the pink heart is still very warm. I'm going to leave that a little bit longer. The curls can just sit here on the table waiting. Once that's gone cold, then I'll take it out and I'll melt down my goat's milk and we'll pour it in. Okay, so the heart mold is done. I'm just going to unmold this. Still warm, but that's how I want it. It's a bit bendy. Just have to straighten that up a bit. Just clean up. Now, with these particular molds, they've got like this tiny little bit of thingo that gets through it. So you just have to go around the edges and clean it up. Okay, now that that's done, I need to figure out how long I'm going to actually need this because I don't need the whole thing because obviously it doesn't fit in the mold. So if we get a ruler and from one end to the other, just over 9.5 inches long. So it's 24.5 centimeters long. So I'm going to put that next to there and I'm going to cut at 25. And I've cut the top of the mold part off. So that still doesn't go into the mold, so I'm just going to have to cut it a little shorter. Perfect. So now the heart shape fits right in there. So with this particular mold I get 9 bars and I usually cut like 5 mil off each side. So the next thing that we need to do is work out how much the curls and the heart weigh, and then we can subtract that from the total amount that goes into the loaf. So there's 155 grams of curls and together they make 265. So what I need to do is melt down 835 grams of goat's milk soap, which is this bar here, and then I can start pouring it into the mold. Okay, so I'm going to set this up now while it's microwaving. And see how that fits right in the middle of the curls. Okay, so spray that. So I want that rubbing alcohol to seep down and onto the other ones below it. And just by itself, it should bond them together once the rubbing alcohol dries, because it becomes like a glue. Okay, so my goat's milk base is melted down and I'm just going to add some white just to make it a bit whiter. So I need to add the fragrance to this now, and I'm going to be using strawberry, and it smells so good. So this is just over 2%, so it's 20 grams. So this fragrance I think has vanilla in it. It will turn the soap brown, I believe, but I don't care. I love the smell. It smells like a strawberry milkshake. we need to make sure that the temperature is not going to melt the embeds, and that at the moment is 131, which is 55, so a little too hot. Okay, I think we're ready to pour. So I'm just going to spray the top here and hopefully it all seeps down. I'm going to have to move the mold around a bit just because some bits get stuck and you end up with big air bubbles. So I'm going to spray the top, try and get that rubbing alcohol down a little bit further too. Okay, here we go. Well, would you look at that? Used up almost every drop. Spray the top, pop all those bubbles. That looks great. I love that hanging out. I'm not even going to touch it. And it's not melting, so that's a really good sign. I'm going to come back tomorrow and cut this, and I'll see you in a minute. Okay, so this is around about 6 hours later, and I'm going to unmold this and cut it up. So just what I expected. So there's little tiny bits of soap missing where the curls hit the mold. So there's not really much I can do about that. That's just going to have to be a texture. So let's cut this up and see what's inside. So really happy with this one. Smells absolutely amazing. So if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, and thank you for watching.